Yo, what's good, people? I saw you're all crazy busy in the chat, and there's like a hype train almost happening, and I thought I'd say hello. I'm still getting set up, so bear with me just a bit. Hope the weekend treated you all well. Make you all look at my typing face. Tom is here. Welcome in, Tom. How are you? I did have a good weekend. Thank you. How did you fare this weekend? Purple Pros, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Guy, thank you for the sub. Eric, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Conflicted Operator, thank you for the follow. DC Jav1, thank you for the follow. Fellow Scorpio, thank you for the follow. Anybody else I may have missed this morning, I appreciate you all. Still getting set up here. Oh, Saf, you moved house, huh? Everybody land okay? New place all right? Heidi, how are you? Legs and arms are killing you. Well, hey, hold on a second. That's good pain. If you got to keep all those records, you're good. At least you got to carry those out the door and in through a new door. Timbre science, cool. Let's talk chainsaws. Right? We all just bailed on Becky. Oh no. Well, you know, maybe we need to have a conversation with Becky about coming and playing with us. Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. You know what we should do? We should set up a little bit of cross chat between the two channels. And I need to wrap this Marvel thing today. I want to work on some spooky stuff for a little Halloween release. But why not knock out something for a little beat challenge or something over on her channel? You guys can bring in some sounds. We can transform those sounds in some wacky ways, spit them back out in the form of a sound pack, and send you all back there as a little beat-making army. You guys can do a little competition of some kind with her. Maybe that's the caveat, is that she participates. Look at us game planning something for someone else's stream. You can use your arms today, but not yesterday. Oh, that's funny. Oh, oh, Tom, you convinced your folks to get a dishwasher. Nice. And you're gonna get a robot vacuum cleaner. Nice. Yeah, that's a good setup, Tom. Absolutely, because home cooking, love, money, all of the good things. Right, Paul? Once there's other people involved, the dishwasher becomes much more enticing. Yeah, it's funny how universal those feelings are, too. Javar, welcome in, dude. How are you? Yay, Heidi, good vibes on you. That's awesome. Every dish and utensil in the kitchen just to make toast. Oh. Hey, there you go. See, Tom's fighting on my side here. You are the good vibe, Heidi. And I still think you might be synchronicity, too. I think so. Hey, nice. Don't you love it when you get to dig out the kit? Gebro! Doing well, man. How are you doing? Happy Monday. What's up, Andy? How's our favorite space droid? Yes, big shout out to Andy. Big ups, finishing the 30-day challenge. Big. Let me just clean this up just a little bit. And then let's make some sounds. OhmLab and just discovered I do have a DAW. Excellent. Which one do you have? GarageBand? I know that we're going to talk some form of FM today. I wanted to give a few more people a chance to filter in here because there was a conversation happening on the Discord post chat on Friday, and we can go check on that here in a bit to see if there's been anything else posted. But it was about FM, and there was this really beautiful analogy given by Roku about what FM is. Trailer was asking questions, and he kicked down this beautiful analogy, and it got a conversation started. So I thought we would talk FM, frequency modulation, and exactly what it is, how it differs from the other things, and why it is such an important component of unique timbre design, sound design. Every once in a while I still call it timbre design. I'll explain why. Oh, hey, awesome. Okay, so Gabriel's saying just sent a Discord, or just send a link to the Discord where you may listen to a full soundtrack for an experimental short film edited by my cousin. That's great. That is fantastic. That face, the frequency modulation face. What's up, guy? How are you, man? Yeah, dude, we could do a little feedback on that. Let's sort through anything new in the Discord first, and then we'll do that, and then we'll jump into some sounds. All right, the wheels are turning. Heidi's gonna get in on some music challenges, maybe start transforming some audio, maybe start making some audio, huh? Okay, so let's go hit the Discord. I'm caught up with chat. Oh, wow. You guys have been busy. Oh, yeah, and for those who have not heard, Twitch has sued a handful of people in response to them leading hate raids, and we were right. It does come down to just a handful of people and their bots, which does hopefully restore a little bit of faith for some people. Maxifer, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Andrevia, I'm a robot. I don't feel. Plus, I have my clones do all the heavy lifting. That's amazing. Oh, this is a great conversation here on the Discord. Oh, DJ Empirical, you've been sitting this whole time waiting to move. Oh, man. Jeez. This pandemic, dude. Ugh. Okay, we did not click on this public collaborations. Let's see what was posted last week. Any other Bitwig users out there in the internet land want to collab? Hey, Michael is looking for someone to collaborate with, and he's a mighty fine music maker. Anybody else out there using Bitwig right now? Who's been busy? Javar. Whoever has not checked out live streams from Javar, go do that. Oh, hey! Trailer shared the dialogue samples from the track that we listened to last week. Ah, that's great. And this one?
Very carefully. I've gone through all the data I've...
Fantastic. Thank you, Trailer. Hey, who's here, by the way? Who's walked in the door? Can I make music on my biopulsar? Oh, I don't know. Probably. Depends on how you define music, I guess. Oh, you told her about an FL demo. Oh my goodness. Digital Aura workstation. Okay. What's up, Max? We might do a little bit of feedback. Well, yeah, we will do a little bit of feedback. If you want to hit the Discord, drop it in the public feedback, because we're going to listen to something from Gabriel here in just a minute, and he's waiting patiently. We'll do one for you right after. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, all the freaking hate raids are just stupid. Anyway, they're suing some folks. And part of this process of suing some folks is going to out them publicly by name. I'm pretty stoked about that. Guy, nothing wrong with FL, dude. And Tremy is getting all bossy about it. Go follow Javar now! Ooh, Blackberry. You know, something tells me, I mean, I don't know you in real life, of course, but something tells me, based upon all of the intellectual thoughts that you've shared here, that you'd probably really dig Bitwig. Yeah, Paul, it's like the modular version of Ableton, sort of, right? It's got the similar aesthetic, but then it's got like just the ability to modulate everything. I hope that Bitwig is getting more popular. Renoise just sitting on your computer and haven't used it for ages. I know a lot of people that can say that, Saf. Yeah, 3,000 bots in like a minute, and I don't know. just reading through Twitch's thing, it was like, of course they're just going to create a new username and do it again. Come on. Come on. Come on. Roku's got you convinced. Is Roku into Bitwig? Roku does make good music. Never think of Pro Tools for MIDI production, huh? Yeah, a lot of people think of it as the studio beast, right? All right, let's see what's popping in the public sound design this morning. Samert shared something made in Farlight with some subtle movement for the haunted theme, free to use. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if this is public information yet or not, but I did see it announced on one of my channels last week, I think, beginning of last week, that the third and final piece of that series is being released into the wild. So there's Stray Light, Farlight, and then I forget the new one. But another great granular edition, which is awesome. All right, let's kill this noise over here and just click on stuff here that's ours. All right, so this is the thing that made with the Farlight from Zamerits, free to use. Yeah. Roku is Bitwig. Okay, cool. Oh man, I'm seeing that comment about a Sensilmorph, and it reminds me I have a message that I need to listen to, and I forgot to do that. No light, black light, strobe light. All right, so we got something from Max, and we've got something from Gabriel here. This is from a short film that his cousin has edited. I'm actually going to click through to Vimeo for this. I'm assuming there's some visual components to this one.
Feliz Navidad. That means Merry Christmas in Spanish. Say Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Beware the average man, the average woman.
Style. Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dull thing with style is preferable to doing a dangerous thing without it. There's no place to film around Hollywood and Western anymore. It's dead, dead, dead. It stinks of death. They've cleaned it up, they've dried it up, like no rose will ever grow there again. get to exactly what you want to do, the better you are as a human creature, or as any kind of thing, as wood, anything. I think degradation, black pimps, prostitution are the flowers of the earth.
Feliz Navidad. That means Merry Christmas in Spanish. Say it. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, dude. So this is from 4 years ago. Sorry, I don't want to talk over the top of this thing. All right. I'm a huge sucker for Bukowski. But I think it's pretty fair to say I'm a big sucker for your stuff too nowadays. So this is from 4 years ago. You were great 4 years ago. You're great now. I'm really struggling hard to find things that could make this better. In fact, the large majority of the things that I could point to improve the sound were actually in the field recording and dialogue editing. If there had been a little more low-end management in those things, then I think the music would have shined even more. You've just got a really good thing, man. I'm seeing some of the comments in here. You know, Tom saying, Gebro, you're going to go places, man. This is so cool. Lots of people really liking this. Yeah, and I would agree. I really don't find anything to pick apart in that one. I think it's pretty darn solid. There is something from an organic flow standpoint that's present in this that wasn't necessarily as present in a lot of the trailer work that you were sharing, but is present in the more jam band style stuff that you've sent through in a lot of the full song mixes more recently, which makes me wonder how much more fluidly this was recorded, composed versus the trailer stuff. I kind of get the sense that maybe the trailer stuff is a bit more focused, maybe even some typing in MIDI versus this stuff maybe more played out or something. There is a slightly different feel to the two. The trailer work seems a bit more technical and kind of standardized, if you will. And this music and the full length tracks that you've been sharing over the past month or so have been much more plugged into a flow, and it feels like we can feel you in that flow. There is something consistent in each one of those, even though we're looking at different types of music. So I would say that it's really nice to know that was 4 years ago, because this is something that's just always going to be coming out of you. And for what it's worth, I really dig it. So, the cut of the music was made by the cousin. Gotcha. Yeah. I kind of figured as much. It seemed like an editing thing, not like something you would do by choice with your music. But yeah, this is really good, dude. I dig it, and I would hope that you get more full scoring gigs, like for the entirety of something, because I think that you can bring a lot of, I know I keep using the word flow, but there's this certain type of continuity and kind of organic evolution of things that you bring that I think is really great. I really do. Yeah, Max is digging it too. All right, cool. So next up is Max. Speak of the devil. All right, let me finish this quick thought here. Okay, so this is flipping great. Um, I'm liking every single thing about it, except for the loudness. I think that the loudness in it is affecting a couple of things. Um, and there's reasons why we really want to control this rather than allowing platforms to turn us down and control it and whatnot. And most of that really comes down to the fact that you want to give people a chance to turn this stuff up. And if it gets to this point of distortion or feeling like there's pressure or whatever, the person on the volume dial should be in charge of that, I think, especially with the really like good vibe party time music and serious love boat vibes, homie. This is great. Um, so the low end is where we can feel a little bit of distortion. I'm not talking about the saturation on the kick. That feels pretty intentional and it's good. But just the overall mix itself feels like it's been a bit too compressed and maximized. So what I would suggest is getting to know what the standards are for the different streaming platforms. And there's also just general loudness rules of thumb. Like, for instance, this particular type of music is probably served up best at negative 16 LUFS. And the reason why I say that is because it's got like a really solid, like soul sonic spectrum to it, if you will, right? And predominantly that is the target for like most appreciated, most enjoyed by most people. Um, it gives an opportunity for things to be turned up, like I said before. And it also puts you in control of the loudness that people are hearing on the streaming sites. So that is what I would aim for. Um, let's see what people are talking here. There's a little bit of what I felt to be kind of mid-low build-up towards the sides on some stuff. Two things you might want to look at there. One, the actual position of each element in the mix. If you are going to go back and look at loudness in general, I might just, there's not that many tracks in this. I would probably recommend just a remix of volume, nothing else. So find your main hero, right? Mix that up. Maximum peak dB of negative 6 dB, and then mix everything else underneath it. And make sure that you pay close attention to the stereo position, especially for good call and response relationships between the different instruments throughout the timeline, right? And then once you've found a little bit greater separation in stereo position and volume, the whole thing's going to feel really, really good. As you're going through that process, make sure that you're taking out the lowest frequencies of all of the tracks that don't really need a big bass presence. You don't want to cut out the life force of anything, but you do want to create more space for all the low end elements. So there isn't any unintentional rumble or distortion being introduced or muddiness. This thing could be even more clear and bright than it already is up high. There could be more definition in like amongst the articulation of instruments in the mids if you do all of this. And then the last thing to take a look at is reverb should be on a parallel channel on all of the instruments in this mix. Nothing should really be series in this. So you should be able to control the frequency output of all of those reverb channels. So put an EQ on after your reverb on all of those reverb sends. And you should end up with a really nice, pristine mix on this thing. Paul points out that for what it's worth, you get Bitwig Lite when you get a Sensomorph. Very Euro. Saf is loving the piano FM thingy. Dremia feels like he's on a cruise ship with a bunch of celebrities. Yeah. Paul's asking, how did you produce this? Max says, by trial and error. I love that. I love that. Just keep going until it's right, right? Blackberry says, the center of the track when there is no low end is really empty. Everything seems either center panned or hard left right. There isn't much going on in the 9 to 10, 4 to 3 pan positions. The mix sounds like there could be a couple of stacked image widening plugins creating a hollowness in the sound field. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, just pay attention. The thing that might actually cause that with a lot of DAWs, and some people don't even think about this, is that, and DAWs have kind of pivoted this direction, is that on the pan pots in your mixer, here let's just pivot to Logic really quick, and we'll just open up this track in the mixer. Right here on the pan pot here, you can right click on this. Oh, let me put in an audio track. Okay, so audio track. Oh, interesting. Stereo. There we go. Okay, so by default, what you're seeing in a lot of pan pots is that when you just start moving them right or left, they're actually in what's called a balance mode, which means that you're eliminating the signal on the other side of the stereo spectrum. So as soon as you turn it to the right, it's eliminated the left side signal, and it's drastically reduced the middle, if not eliminated it, depending upon where you position this. But when you, here, we'll just zoom in here so you can see this a little bit better. When you right click on this and choose stereo, you see now that there's actually like a full spectrum engagement of the stereo spectrum, right? Or the stereo field rather, and you can adjust width within that space. So anyway, I guess my point in this is that it might be better just to use a traditional stereo pan if you're not already, because it allows for natural bleed of sounds. Like you might be targeting one specific point in the stereo field, but you're allowing a lot of the sound to still be heard elsewhere. It's just focused there, right? Which is a lot more natural. It feels a lot more normal to our ears. So when you're producing kind of real world instrument mixes, you want to gravitate towards that anyway, I think. Max is saying, yeah, don't usually do sends for reverb, which probably isn't great. I'll usually low cut inside the reverb plugin. Gotcha. What's up, Trailer? I see you. We're talking FM today at some point for you. So Max, the difference, and this really kind of opens people's eyes using this analogy. There's a difference between putting a snare drum inside of a room versus putting the reverb inside of the snare. Right? When you put the snare, or when you put the reverb on that snare, the entirety of the signal has been altered. Right? And when it's on a parallel channel, you can control it to the nth degree. So there is a great deal of clarity and reasons for wanting to do those things on a parallel channel. It might seem like a hassle, but as soon as you get into that workflow, it takes you like 2 extra seconds in the big scheme of things, and the benefits of it far outweigh the hassle, right? So it's totally worth it. Dig in. And just make those parallel sends happen, because they will help all of it. And the more organic and analog your music is, like these strings and stuff, they're really going to like it. You know what I mean? Tom is watching me fumble around in my Monday morning fog. It's not stereo, that's why. Thank you, Tom. Javar says, in Cubase I have stereo combined or stereo balance panner. Not sure what the difference is. So that would be the difference right there, Javar, is that one is the what's it called? Relative. The combined is relative and balance is um, one or the other. So like if you turn it to the right, then it's sending to the right and not to the left. Trailer says, great, I need a distraction from this mess of a track I'm currently trying to salvage. That's awesome. All right, so feedback given. Did I get through all the thoughts here? Oh, the other thing, I know I showed this, but they have a little plugin that you can use too, and you can do a couple Google searches and discover what the loudness standards are for different things. But yeah, there you go. Arrangement wise, the only thing I had in here was maybe consider just a tiny little remix breakdown midway through or something like that, just to funk it up a little bit more, or toss in something like a shaper box or maybe some funky kind of auto filter kind of thing on maybe one or two instruments at a couple different points. Maybe just like a quick little reverse here or there, just to mix it up a little bit. I think that it could handle it. It's got a really nice, fun vibe to it. So, all right. So I am going to be finishing up the Marvel Universe stuff today, which involves some bouncing and a couple of more things to actually be created. Let me just find really quick what BPM the last part is in and see if I've already started. Okay, this is part 4. Great. Original. Danny. Okay, so A minor 90 BPM, which is what I did on Friday with y'all, I think. These are 80 BPM. Those are some of the 90 BPMs. Okay, so then what is the 4th one? Part 3, part 4. 80 BPM E minor. 80 BPM E minor. A minor 85, which I got a bunch of beats done for that. So maybe just some sound design then. Okay. Right. Oh, and I did get a couple of elements done for this. I'm remembering now, this is the one that sounded like 007 that all of you guys were like, yeah, 007 all the way. Right. Okay. So maybe just a little bit more for the 85 BPM A minor. And this is trap. So let's go into, let's do some FM8 for this. Blackberry says, in general, find it is a better working practice to have your room-specific effects on their own channel, reverb delays, because they are in essence their own instrument that you're triggering with a common stimuli, and in the natural world, they are frequency, velocity, amplitude sensitive events that are much harder to control as a channel. Being a live guy, I just find it easier to continue to think of them as acoustic related events. Yeah. Yep. And by room specific, I mean the types of byproducts that you would hear in a natural acoustic environment. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's so many, like we could probably talk for a couple of days just about the management of frequencies and maintaining clarity, protecting the original integrity of sounds. Um, yeah, yeah, we could probably talk for days on it. Yeah, I could too. I would love to hear you talk for days about it, Blackberry. Okay, so before we actually jump into some real sounds, maybe what we could do is just a super, super quick, low-level introduction to FM, how it actually works, and then maybe jump into some complete sounds as well, and just kind of talk through, when it makes sense, some of what's happening timbre-wise and movement-wise, and how that actually corresponds to FM versus just other parts of synthesis. Tom says, I'm doing a tiny challenge to myself to make a verse pre-chorus and chorus in the first hour of OhmLab while listening to Chris. Ooh, nice. Nice, Tom. Oh, I love your challenges. Saf says, reverb is an interesting topic to talk about because it's such an interesting effect to use for many purposes. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it can make something feel real and natural or very otherworldly in no time at all. Andy says, I'm working on a website. Ew. Okay, so the first thing to take notice of is that in the FM world, there are carriers and there are modulators. A carrier carries the sound to the output. A modulator affects something. It affects the timbre or delivery of sound from that carrier. In other words, I have F here and I turn on E. F has a direct line to the output here. I'm only hearing F. If I were to click on E and set this up 1 octave, and we'll talk about frequency in just a second, and then send it to its own output, I'm going to hear 2 independent tones. I now have 2 carriers. If I kill this second tone to the output and instead I start feeding it into my first carrier, that transforms E from a carrier into a modulator. And it literally affects the timbral output of carrier F because of its own specific oscillation rate and frequency, as well as shape, and if it has any other influences coming in. Long story short, the shape and rate at which the waveform is moving is what is affecting the carrier. Now, if I have E going out to going into F and to the output, now that transforms E from just a modulator into what's called an operator, because an operator can do both. It can carry and it can modulate. And the more interesting you get with all of your choices, the more interesting the sound becomes. Let's just talk about pitch and stuff really quick, because this is represented differently in FM than it is in other forms of synthesis. You're using what's called a ratio. So you got to get into your compressor mindset for a minute and think about this. Let's look at the ratio of F. There's also something called offset. Ratio is the current pitch position in relation to the root. So right now, the root note is 1. Okay, if I wanted to go up 1 octave from the root note, I would double it. So I go to 2. So back down to 1. Go up 1 octave, I change this to 2. If I want to go up 1 more octave, I would need to double this again. It would be to 4. And then again to 8. And so on and so forth. So taking this back down to 1. Oh, hotkeys. It is a birthday week though. So if I want to go down 1 octave, what I need to do is I need to divide that number in half, basically. So to go up an octave, you need to double, and to go down an octave, you need to halve. So we'll go down to 0.5 here. And this is going to be 1 octave down. 1 octave down again would be 0.25, and so on and so forth. So we'll just set this back to 1. So now we're back to our root key again. And now let's talk about changing the pitch, the perceived pitch output of that carrier through a modulator. So I'm going to click into E. When we fed one that at a ratio of 2, which is 1 octave up from the root, into F, the sound went up in pitch. It got brighter. If we want it to get darker, let's halve it instead of double it. So let's go down to 0.5. And 0.25. And you start to hear some very familiar types of sounds very quickly. And you can stack a whole bunch of these together. You can drop the original one. Now this is all based upon the signal. So if we were to affect the signal strength or shape of E going into F, well, then we're going to hear the timbre change over a longer period of time. So we'll just feed this in at about an index or depth of 50. And it's going to, the evolution of sound, the delivery of the sound is now going to follow this ADSR shape that I just drew in. And we can increase the intensity by increasing the index. And we can spread these out even more. So you can hear that change over a greater distance, period of time. I'm going to increase my release so I can hear the decay of this thing as well. Now let's say that I want to add yet another one. Let's add this one at 0.25, or maybe we'll add this at 1250. And you'll notice that I'm keeping all of my numbers very exact right now. And of course, since only one thing is being sent to the output, I can change the shape of this entire thing very, very quickly. FM radio, the same, just huge difference where the carrier modulator center frequencies live. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Blackberry says a lot of things that most people don't realize is that at its core, reverb is just a ton of delays. You could put 100 delays in a series and end up with reverb. The tricky part of reverb is creating the directionality or angles of incidence and reflections to the listener's position. Yep. Sometimes a reverb on a signal sounds bad, not because it's not a decent reverb, but because psychoacoustically it's not emulating directional cues consistent with all the cumulative audio information in the track. Yep, absolutely. And not all sounds are going to sound good in all spaces. Absolutely. I highly recommend listening to reverbs before actually selecting them. Like you should audition them the same way that you would audition different samples, right? You would not continue to use the same kick in a mix if you felt that the kick sounded off, right? You wouldn't continue to use the same guitar sample, if it was out of tune, for instance, right? You would retune it. So selecting the right reverb, the only way you get to do that is by listening to just the wet signal and knowing exactly what it is, and then applying it to the degree at which is desired, after you know what the hell it sounds like. All right, so does the basics, the absolute basics of FM make sense? And keep in mind that what makes up sound is amplitude, and then frequency. Pitch is perceived frequency, and timbre, and that's it. So this comment, that was like one of the very first ones, like, oh, the science of timbre. Oh, great, we're going to talk chainsaws or whatever. Like, that's legitimate, because if that chainsaw was tuned to a perfect C, and an elephant, its bugle or whatever we call it, is set to a perfect C, and a pig's oink is set to a perfect C, the only way that we could possibly discern it is through timbre. And when you really stop and think about this, like, amplitude is our perceived loudness measurement, right? And pitch is a specific position of frequency that's perceivable. And that means that everything else is timbre. So there's all of these crazy factors and parameters that go into just this one component of sound. It's really interesting that we identify sound as these unique things, because how loud something is or isn't doesn't change the sound, right? It just allows us to hear it. And then pitch is its position in the perceived range of sound available to us, right? It is the potential spectrum of input, because we cannot perceive sound frequency-wise past the two extreme points of low and high frequency. And that's it. Everything else is timbre, and we've just applied one word to cover everything. And it's left the world of sound design to be rather fluid in how it approaches all of its tool making and processing and all of this stuff. It's very interesting stuff. Isn't velocity rise and fall time also a factor of FM synthesis? Well, yes, because it's about signal strength. Okay, just like I was saying, when we look at if we look at the envelope curve of oscillator E, which is a modulator going in and affecting the timbre of F, the reason why it's doing it at such, it's slowly feeding in the sound, is because this ADSR, this envelope right here, is an amplitude envelope, right? If this oscillator E had 0 amplitude, it doesn't matter what the rest of its settings are, it has no signal being perceived by F. So signal strength is really the only thing that our plugins and oscillators and processors recognize. Going back to the loudness conversation of the last track that we reviewed before we hopped into the FM stuff, that it's a big thing. When your stuff is too hot at certain frequencies, your plugins are responding to different parts of your sound than you may think they are. But the same goes for FM. It has to be at a strength, at an amplitude enough, the signal coming in, to have an effect that's perceivable upon the carrier output. One thought I taught timbre was to think about people's voices, same words, same pitch, rhythm of speech, but you recognize who is talking because of timbre of someone's voice. Yeah, exactly. That's 100%. And you could take it even further and do a cross-species thing, right? Like your voice and my voice and that duck's voice, they're all pretty similar when it comes right down to it. It's just that we have tuned in to very, very specific things. Over time, it's excluded, like we've just naturally filtered out a lot of things that are not pertinent to us so we don't go insane. So we can focus on the things that are relevant to us, like as a species. Guy says if you use an oscilloscope and basically recreate the new waveform identical to the same waveform created through FM, will it sound the same? Yes. Yeah. And in fact, there is a scope here, and you can actually look at that for that very reason, for that exact same reason. You'll also see some sort of waveform visual aid in a lot of additive synths as well for that same exact reason. Because with additive synthesis, like the idea of additive synthesis is kind of the opposite of this, where everything can be reduced to the fundamental. Therefore, anything can be made from the fundamental, right? So if everything can be reduced to a sine wave, everything can be made from just sine waves. So, and it's a whole theorem that we could dive into, but FM is kind of the other way around. It's what can we arrive at through the addition of other moving elements. It's really great, right? Because it's so much more complex than additive, because it's bringing into play envelope curves and unique timbres and all sorts of things. It can even get as far out there as psychoacoustic processing and stuff through a modulation wave affecting a carrier. So, yeah. DJ Empirical, how are you? At a work training thing all day. Nice, dude. Welcome in. Good to see you. Ignore talking ducks. Yeah, the math is how DA conversion works and declipping. Yeah. Oh, no donuts. Oh, mandatory meeting without donuts. So let's step away from all the technical stuff for just a little bit and play with some sounds. And we can get back into technical again when brains are ready to absorb a bit more. Okay, so what am I going for? I'm going for 85 BPM. And this is an A minor. Shadon, thank you so much for the resubscription. Or Shadon. I've always referred to you as Shadow, but I've never asked if that is correct. Is it? Blackberry, thanks, homie. Always good to have you here, dude. Shadon. Okay. Guy, where's your first part of your question? Did I miss it? Oh, will it sound the same? Asking because Serum's resample kind of sucks, and I would think it would do that, but it doesn't do it well. Okay, so the warp functions inside of Serum are great and incredibly limited. They give you a snapshot of a certain type of synthesis or effect, but they don't give you the entirety of it. They don't actually give you manipulative control over the parameters of said synthesis form or effects processing. It just doesn't, or wave folding. But what it does do is it gives you kind of a static representation of it in which you can then manipulate FM index, for instance, like how much of this FM signal would you like to apply? It doesn't give you a lot over that. You have to kind of manipulate it a bit. So like if you wanted an envelope for your modulator, you'd have to set one of your LFOs or an envelope to control the amp, or the FM warp knob on the oscillator, right? Because the volume, the amplitude of your modulator, the second oscillator inside of Serum, has no bearing whatsoever over the signal being received in oscillator A. Does that make sense? Because you can turn down the amp knob, the volume knob of oscillator B, and then you can FM A with it, which makes it a true modulator. It's not being heard. It's not also a carrier. It's not now an operator, but you don't have much more manipulation control over the actual waveform, right? You can affect the wavetable. You could affect the detuning. You could affect the pitch. And that's about it. Super quick. Thanks for popping in, Empirical. It's not correct. Don Zigris misread it and refused to read it properly, and it became a thing. So is it shadow then? Have I been saying it the right way? 45. Shadowing. I think if this is affecting the pitch CV, no amplitude in that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the index. It's nothing else because the pitch isn't actually changing and the amplitude of the signal or the signal strength is not changing. It's simply the index, which if we were to equate that, it's just this. It's just changing this one parameter, the amount of the FM signal being sent in. Shed on. Okay, cool. Legit, the only person who read it correctly on stream was Gary. All right, so let's see what we can dip into down low here. Tom, we will click over to that in just a bit here. This one's called Cable Guys. Going back in time, I forget exactly when we released this pack, but this is years ago now. I don't know. Maybe this is like 7 years old now or something like that, this pack. Anyway, it's a 3-part trap series. And this one is called Cable Guys because um, we just started doing something for Cable Guys. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was when they first, maybe even their very first product. Oh, maybe this one. All right, let's see about maybe a touch more feedback on this guy here. Yeah. Yeah, Tom. In fact, there's an old OhmLab one that I did for ADSR years ago. We're getting somewhere on this one. Oh, holy hell. Should you buy FM8 right now? No. Um, do you already own some Native Instrument stuff? The reason why I say no so quickly is because it's better to buy, in my opinion, to buy some form of complete. Because if you buy one of their flagship synths just one off, you're going to pay a couple $100 for it. I think it takes maybe a few $100 to get into complete, which is all of their flagship products plus a bunch of other stuff. And then what you do is you upgrade using the upgrade path, which is a steep discount during their 50% annual discount sale that happens usually halfway through the calendar year of their release cycle. So the one for 13 just happened like a couple months ago, like 2 months ago or something. Anyway, every few years you upgrade during the 50% off sale. and you pay a couple $100 for like hundreds of gigs worth of stuff that's new to you. So that's how I would do it. The UI speaks to me more than Mass Effect somehow. Yeah. If anyone is waiting for FM 8 to go on sale, get dexed by Digital Suburban and see if you like FM. Yeah. Yep. And recently with Biome and Silo getting into some more granular stuff. Yeah. Can sequence most of the FM modulation in Ableton, right? Yeah. Yeah, shouting. So if they do have some kind of complete announcement or anything around Black Friday, it's probably going to be a new version of Complete. It won't be the 50% thing. It won't be that they do that just one time a year. But doesn't matter. If the price point is right for you, pull the trigger. If it's some form of Complete, because still all these years later, Native Instruments really continues to be like the Adobe of our industry, right? Yeah, they really are. Okay, this is dope. I got to capture this before we dip over to your track, Tom. Oh, right. I have velocity set up on this. I should maybe do a couple of takes on that one. These are really good intensity takes here. That's right. I have Aftertouch set up on these. I forgot about that. Let's go back down here really quick. Oh, Aftertouch is fun. All right, let's make sure that first note came through. Okay. And let's just bounce that. And we'll chop those up here in a bit. Let's go see what Tom made. He gave himself a challenge this morning. Where am I going? Discord. Iggy. Nice image, dude. All right, so this is a 45-minute challenge Iggy did in the first part of the stream today. Trying to get into the flow of writing super fast. All right, here we go. Trappy, trappy, 80, weighty. 80, 80, weighty. It's solid, dude. I'm not hearing a lot of stuff to critique here. Let's play it again. Okay. So for 45 minutes, dude, this is really solid, really good sample selection. It all really fits. Um, nice vocal. Yeah, good hats, good snare, good kick. They feel like they're in sync. If the hat, it feels like the hat is just kind of cycling on the right hand side, and it's got a cool kind of for like phase or chorus kind of thing happening there. But you do have the room, like you've got plenty of space if you wanted to. That could cross over to the other side at any point. And that snare run fill, the you can pan that a bit as it's going, and it would get a lot more attention. You have free reign on your stereo spectrum in a track like this because there's really nothing eating up any of your space, and there's nothing else flying around. So I would say have at it. The other thing is that you can play a little bit more freely with transition effects as accents in a beat like this. Tiny, tiny little like whoosh, little tiny little whooshes and like white noise risers that are just really short form, like half bar or even quarter notes. Um, they have a really nice kind of way of pushing and pulling the beat. You can also every once in a while just like reverse one hi-hat or reverse one snare. Um, and those tiny little embellishments seem to kind of really seal the deal. Trailer says, been thinking about Complete for a while, but $1,000 is steep. You'd say it really is at some point pretty essential to have. Well, not essential. Here's the thing is that if you work with other people, it's really nice to be able to use their presets or send them your presets. Having the full version of Kontakt opens up thousands of third-party libraries to you. So if you make money from this, I would say that yes, it's more on the essential side of toolkit than most things still. Kontakt is by far the de facto sampler of the industry still. Reaktor is absolutely like the sandbox toy of choice. I would say that Max for live um, is probably the biggest competitor to it. It may have surpassed it in some areas, um, but Reaktor does have the free community library. So there's like thousands of effects and sequencers and samplers and stuff that you can download for free that run inside of Reaktor. But yeah, it gets you, Absinthe, Massive, FM8, Massive X, Kontakt, Guitar Rig, which is absolutely a sound designer's best friend. Um, what am I missing here? I say FM8, Reaktor, all the stuff, all of these different things that you get that run inside of Reaktor and um, Kontakt. They're not essential. You can make sounds, however, you can come by sounds, however, but it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Saf says I can make a tune in 30 minutes. Boom. There is actually a speed run challenge that's coming very, very soon that I will include all of you on. And the best part is that it gains you entry to make cash. Like $500 a pop. I will keep you posted, and you will not have to wait long to hear about this. You should be quite proud of that, Celesta Melody. It's awesome. Speed writing crew on you over the years. Nice, Saf. Ready, set, go. Trailer says, Iggy, class, I am impressed by the amount of stuff in it. Full contact guitar rig, etc. So saved your ass. How? Hey, Tremties, how you doing, man? Happy Monday to you. Welcome in. Tom says, good ideas there. I'm trying to exercise my production muscles because when I get quarantined for 14 days, I'm going to go full blast. Yeah, I bet you are, dude. Take all the samples. Listen real quick, dig the drums and the flavor, but the melodies are not really fan. Sorry, it's not a bad melody. It's just a bit stale. Yeah, for 45 minutes, I bet if you were to spend another 45 on it, you'd find all sorts of ways to make whatever people find stale, unstale. Yeah, full contact is a huge thing for me. I'm missing so many libraries relying on the free one. Yeah, so that right there, that in and of itself is enough. But here's the thing is that, and when you do finally get into contact, or I mean, into complete, like the full thing, you start to realize that the industry trends still, after all of these years, still follow Native Instruments' lead. In other words, days, not even days, hours after complete is released each cycle, you start to hear whatever the next big sound is going to be in like cinematic scoring, the new effects that they come out with and the weird little synths and stuff that they introduce via reaktor in the complete installments are usually the types of sound design or effects processing that will kind of dominate for the next couple of years. And it's because the leaders, like the thought leaders and industry leaders in these different positions, it all has this massive trickle-down effect. They've been there forever. And they are the people that we largely turn to in the industry for lots and lots of things. So yeah, it becomes this thing that feels rather essential. You know, if you have clients that are wanting to keep pace with industry trends and whatnot, you're going to get there very quickly and easily with the help of Native Instruments. But as soon as you can deviate from any kind of preset or snapshot or whatever, and start making your own with these tools, that's when everything really starts to pay off. So I would say that the contact upgrade, I used to do this intentionally on the first day every other year when I did the upgrade. I would create and release a sound pack that day, and it would basically just pay immediately for the contact. It pays for itself very, very quickly. But yeah, you just do the upgrades like every other year or every 3 years. Yeah. Tremties speedrun, fast money, huh? Yeah, no, I'm serious though. It's not a scam. We will actually be giving people cash if they win. Love a bit of speed writing as long as quality is no issue. I'm a wizard. Yeah, that's exactly it, Trailer, is that we'll have a few boundaries in place. I think what we'll want to do, well, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm not going to talk details. But we will within the next day or so. Cash, I want shrubbery. Nee. It's told to make an Indian sounding background and an Arabic sounding background for theater work. So much inside to just go to my clients. I can do that. Got paid $10,000 once just to make ambience for 20 rooms for a children multi-room production. Contacted all the legwork. Yeah, I've got similar stories where you just don't even know. You just don't even know what kind of opportunities are going to come your way. But when you have all the tools at your disposal, you can say yes to anything and you can actually deliver. And that right there is what makes and breaks you. And as soon as you've made it with a client that has budget like that, you're in, you're set. All you have to do is maintain relationship and continue to, foster it over time. That's it. Oh yeah, absolutely. Tremtize, I work 100 times faster for clients than I do myself. Absolutely. 100%. Long story short, use what everyone else is using, otherwise you won't make money with it. Long story short, learn how to make your own stuff with the tools that everyone else is using, and you now have two income sources because all those fools are going to pay you. That's the secret. That's the secret. That's the inside track of Native Instruments land, is that there are thousands and thousands of people that quickly pull the trigger on these things, and they have all these synths. And you know how they use those synths? They buy presets. And you know how they use those samplers? They buy samples. And if you're using the tools that are fueling those tools, yeah, you got it. Went from complete 10 to 13, few $100 upgrade, but much new content. That's exactly it. You do it every 3 years or so. You can span at least 3 versions and keep your upgrade track intact, or your upgrade path intact. Yeah. And yeah, trailer, it's really just about turnaround and like production quality on that kind of stuff. Copy pasta paste best before. Yeah, I think that's it on the feedback. I think I got all that. Cool. Let's get back to some sounds. I think we're good on this one. Let's see what this one can do for us. Ooh, that one would sound nice. For those just tuning in, I am just going through some of my patches really quick and seeing if I can take a few of these and quickly start to transform them into viable sound effects, scoring sound effects for Marvel stuff. Let's go in here and open up my release a bit on each one of these and see if we can move this into kind of a low swell zone. And move over to my easy morph. So I've set up these morphing quadrants on all of these. Let's set up our spray on these. Mm-hmm. Okay, one more time into our envelopes here. Becky, welcome in. And your party of 31. How y'all doing? We're playing with a little bit of FM today. For those of you not already following Becky, get your butt over there and follow her right now. Big shout out to Becky. She does awesome things over there. We're just wrapping production on a Marvel Universe project here. It'll get released at the end of this week, and then we'll just spend some time inside of Audio Design Desk playing around with it together. We'll make some stuff. I think maybe this will be maybe like 4 octaves worth of stuff here. Maybe 5. We'll see. We'll see what this works out to be. All right, let's ditch this and hit record. Everybody, even if you don't know Becky, even if you don't pray or anything else, send good vibes to Becky right now because she is trying to land a new pad, a new home. And there's this really awesome place that's in just the right location. It's got all of the bells and whistles, all the right rooms for really legit studio space, streaming space. She'd have her own pad without roommates or any kind of hassle or distraction, and we want her to get it. So everybody, put your collective energy together and shoot it on across the pond. If you're in America, if you're in the UK, keep it on that side of the pond and aim it at Becky. She's had a hell of a couple of years and could really use this place. Hey, Zev Music in the house. Everybody give Zev Music a follow too. Trust me. And go give Sound On Official a follow as well. You're going to want these links this week. Go find those channels. Follow them. Some fun stuff is coming. Maria, thank you so much for the sub. And everyone else who has subbed today, I really do appreciate it. There's been a lot of them flying around. I do appreciate it. Y'all are freaking amazing. Fantastic humans. Bunch, you're amazing. I love this community. And you as well. Andremia says, best. Right back at you. Nanowires, dude, brother, Ben, how are you today? How are you feeling? Are you healing? Shout out, OhmLab. All right, let's bounce this one out. And how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. See, we're not too distracted. Let's keep going on this thing. Let's bounce out maybe a good solid 20 more or so. And then I want to start a little bounce party so I can wrap this project up. I think we're going to do a little team quality control after this. And we can move on. Oh, yeah. Let's make this a bit more concave. Those are pretty close. Let's move C out a bit. C's not even on. D. Oh, wow, at this low velocity. Which one? Let's see. Where are my velocity here? Aha. Aha. Let's turn these down here. There we go. Kind of fall flat down there. All right, let's just bounce these couple quick ones here. Cool. Okay, so we'll just take those two and we'll bounce those. We'll give everything names later. Sound On Official is streaming right now. They are. Well, if we're still going when, or if Jared is still going while we wrap up here, we'll go raid him and surprise him. And hopefully he's paying attention to the chat. Don't forget, everybody in here, all subs receive free sound packs. If you are currently subbed to this channel, and a lot of people are, go hit the Discord and follow the link. Tom just put it there in the chat. Go grab your free sound pack. This month is a collection of warped eclectic arpeggios called Warped Arps 1. Whatever you are inspired to make with these samples, you come back and you submit them in our monthly challenge at the end of the month, and you win another free sound pack just for playing along, and the chance to be on the show and some other cool stuff. So go do that. Go do that. Also, just a quick little put a pin in it kind of thing. Next week, at some point. Imaginate will be back on the show. He's just dropping this week the latest installment in his Elemental series for Ghost Hack. Or no, sorry, Black Octopus is coming out. So I'll get you details on that as well. And be ready for surprise streams this week and probably every week after this as well. Lots of good things cooking up. Not really, no. Fenricus, thank you so much. I appreciate it. As Lazi, thank you very much. Let's turn this into a swell. I remember this one having plenty of potential in my easy morph here. Let's just set up a little more spray on this. Yeah, we have to go in and mess with these envelopes a bit here first, though. We'll start down here, 3 octaves down. And let's just take a look at our envelopes. Yeah. Let's spread all of these. Let's just move these guys back. Kind of linear fashion here. A little bit more. All right, so we got a bit too much feedback on one of these layers, probably this one. Oh, it could just be that the noise oscillator's all the way up. No, not that. Ah. E into F. Okay, let's add a longer filter curve on this guy. Okay, that is sounding pretty nice. Let's move up. Yeah. I think I'd like that to last just a bit longer, though. Let's kind of wrangle in our release just a little bit, and then let's change our decay shape here a bit. Get a little more character running longer form. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Who's laughing? There it is. Okay, what's going on with our noise oscillator here? We've got a stuck oscillator somehow. That's weird. All right, better. Baby Lords, thank you for being here. Yeah, these are pretty nice. They might be a little too beautiful though. Let's do something about that. And what is up? Is it the effects? What do we got here? Feedback on our delay. Treble, dry, wet. Maybe. So let's not pitch up those 7 steps. Let's pitch down 3 steps and end on a little tritone. That's a little better. That's a little bit better. And detune it maybe a bit more. Huh. There's gotta be a release somewhere out here. Ah, maybe it's one of these. Oh. Oh, look at that. It's this guy out there like 6 minutes later. Jeez. We do not need a loop in our release cycle. Holy heck. Got it sorted. All right, let's try that again. Yep, now we're there. Still hearing something way out there. And it is this guy. Oops. Whoa, really? There's something way out here? Wow. That's so weird. I wonder how I did that. I had a release point way the hell out there in the ethers. Okay, cool. Let's bounce these. And we'll do that at a few different positions. All right, so we'll play around in these 2 octaves then. All right, we'll call that good. And just bounce that really quick. All right, what time are we looking at here? 12. I could probably use an hour to bounce all of these things. Let's do a quick little scan. That one's actually pretty good up here. I'm not sure if I had one of these. Okay, so we'll bounce this one too. Call that good. Bring this over here. You know what? Let's do a couple of these. Low velocity, high velocity. We'll make a couple of big sweeps or swells out of them. So we'll run these. We'll do 2 of these. And we'll do 16 bars on these. And let's actually do this first one at like half velocity. And we'll run it an entire 16. So we can do a decent sweep in here. And we'll keep this here. Let's put a little spray on this. Yeah, we can do a few quick bounces on this. Okay, so these are all pretty steady Eddie here. We'll do 1. And we'll go back and boost this up in intensity. And we'll bounce that. Boom. And let's find another good spot. Sure, okay, but let's stay within our scheme here. 1 low, 1 high. Yeah, okay. Bounce that. And bounce it again. Okay, let's go back up here, find another spot. Ooh, right in there. Cool. Okay, so we'll bounce one light and one heavy again. There's one light. See what this sounds like heavy. Sure, okay. The weirder the better, honestly. The more kind of low-key vibes we can get baked into this particular theme, the better. Is there a way to make a full track within FM8? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can do your perks and your melodies and the whole 9 yards in there. I mean, you can with, you know, Serum and Massive and other guys too. Absolutely. Absolutely. All you need is enough envelopes. That's really all you need. Absinthe, obviously. Obviously. Okay, gotta go get the terror from school. Okay, take care, trailer. Thanks for the FM stuff today. Cheers, everyone. No problem, dude. We'll dip into more in the next episode, too. Don't let the Night of the Living Dead get you. Oh, man. The new Evil Dead is bad? Oh, no, that's terrible. That's terrible. I'm having a hard time stopping. Let's check just a couple more. And then we'll have a big old bounce party and we'll wrap up this project. Good luck with this. Who named this one? Was it me or was it your? Let's go find out. It was your. I love it. Alright, let's just stop this. Let's just call this a 4-bar. Oops. 4-bar. No, let's do this 8 bars. We'll do a proper swell on this, and we'll do a 1-off as well at this particular timbre. So we'll bounce this. I'm going to be cutting it short here on time. Let's see if we can get a single burst out of this. And envelope, easy more, a little more release, try that again. A little bit more. Okay, that's acceptable. Okay, so now we've got this 8-bar pulse that looks like it almost perfectly syncs up. And we've got a 1-shot. Let's see what we can do about getting a couple more. Let's go up 1 octave. We'll bounce that. Let's go up 1 more. And let's extend that. Looks like all 3 of these kind of come out to the same point here. Bring F along for the ride. It stops a little short, and maybe we could use a bit more sustain in there. Maybe a little less sustain. Okay, so we got a really wonky tail in there. Let's go clean that up really quick. We'll figure out how to take that out. We'll bounce that. Okay, so I guess in the interest of good sound, we'll go up 1 more octave and C. There's play there for us. No, not really. Okay. So let's go back down. We got this one, so we need to go down 1 more octave. Okay, so now on this one, let's crank this out to 8. And we're going to bring back down our sustain. Just a little bit too long on the delay. Or decay, rather. This is still going to be just slightly too long. I'm looking for double the length here without actually having to go in and redraw my envelopes. Let's put just a tiny bit more attack on Z. There it is. Okay, so we're going to stop this one right about there. And we're going to bounce that. We'll go up 1 octave, bounce our last one. Okay. We'll call that one good. Now we have a bunch of stuff that we need to bounce. So let's go through this and do that. 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to save this one. It's a 13th. And this is what, like part 4, I think. Set effects. Boom. Okay. Let's chop all these. Let's chop all these. Let's see how quickly we could do this. These batch processes make life worth living. Let's say we have a lower... Whoa, hold on now. Not that high. Just a little bit of pre-attack and a little bit of post-release on all of these. Okay, so we got 17 samples off that first. This one. We'll have, oops. We'll have 4. Oh, this does need a little bit of massaging here. There we go. It's weird that we need half a second of silence for that. Weird. All right. Whatever. All right, so we got 4 samples from that capture. We got, oops. We got 2 here. Let's just do a little less on that and slightly more pre-attack there. 2 more samples there. Got a bunch here. 11 more samples there. Got that one. Oh, right. And these are our steadies. And then we've got This, which is actually a loop, and those which are one-shots. So we'll just trim our one-shots really quick. There's this one. That might actually be cutting it short. Nope, okay. And this one is a one-shot. We'll trim that one. And we'll trim this one. And that's it. Cool, okay. Let's bounce all these. We need to give these things names. Let's listen to these. Strip silence is such a lifesaver, isn't it, Tom? I use it constantly, as you guys obviously know. Tremolo and strip silence on everything. Okay, the other thing we're going to do really quick is just we're grabbing everything in our entire timeline and we're going to give it an in and an out. We'll keep it super slim on both sides just so we don't affect any transients. Now we've got fade curves on everything. Let's give these guys names. What are these? Yeah, they are like alien bees. I'm not liking how much they're actually chopped off, though. A little short. There we go. All better. All right, let's see what the peak is on this one down here. Where's my meter? Make sure that we're staying within reason with our luffs. This one looks spicy. Not too terribly bad. I'm just going to bring down the volume of just this one. Just slightly. And I'm just going to track the peaks on everything really quick. Egg 19. Just bring this down half a dB. Alien bees that had bad oysters. That should be an album name. Oh, it's hilarious. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll take down the gain manually on a couple of those, and we'll just put an overdrive over the top of this. Add just a little bit of sheen up top. Go back a couple. Bring this down a little. I think we just hit our target here. Alien bees that had bad oysters. Dremia is no more. It is now alien bees that had bad oysters. Soon to be known as artist formerly known as alien bees that had bad oysters. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so these seem to be visually and sonically mostly in line. We got to check these last two though. That one's fine. Check this one. Okay, this one's just a bit hot. We're going to bring this one down just a touch. Try that again. "19 lefts, that's okay. We'll just just slightly. It's not even my favorite sound of these. We might even axe this one. But regardless, okay, so now we're going to name these. And actually, let's name it here. So this is going to be Marvel, and this is what? This is part 4. And this is, gosh, I don't even know. Sound effects. Swell. Synthetic. A minor. And 85 BPM. Except for I don't want BPM associated with this. I want I'll just have to go in and change these manually. This is 01, and this is going to be intensity. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to listen to all of these individually. That's fine. Intensity, what's this first one? Probably like a 4. 4 and a complexity of 3. So instead of being able to do a batch export, we're going to have to do the old-fashioned way here. This one should come down just slightly. Okay, here we go. 24, 4800, bounce. This is Marvel Part 4, SFX, swell, synthetic, A minor, 01, intensity 4, complexity 3. Good. Next. All right, so this is very similar. We'll probably shit can this one. It's going to be 2. And this is going to be an intensity 3. Cool, so this is number 3, and it is intensity 2. These are more stingers, though, aren't they? Damn it. Let's just change that really quick. Okay, we'll call this a stinger. All right, you guys feel like this is a stinger or a swell? This kind of feels like a stinger to me. Yeah, I think so. I'll call this one a stinger. Okay, so this is our 4th, and it too is a stinger, so this is 4. And back up to 3. Next. This is down to a 2. hold on a second. That's number 5, intensity 2. It's the monotonous side of our business here. So this is back up to intensity 3, 6, 3. I have a bunch of interns do this. Ooh, this one can actually come up a tiny bit, and we'll call this one intensity 2. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. So this will be 7, intensity 2. Cool, intensity 3. This is number 8, intensity 3. Next. Oh, that one is actually a little bit hot still. We'll bring that down just a little bit more. Okay. So that makes this number 9. And let's put this up at intensity 5. Intensity 3. File number 10. Intensity 5, maybe? File number 11, intensity 5. 3. So number 12 and oops, intensity 3. B oyster cult. Bad oyster cult. No Kool-Aid needed. Oh man. Andremi is strongly considering this move. Don't fear the cowbell. My next cowbell album. That is awesome. Just got a notification on my Mac that my screen time has increased by 8%, but can't help but feel judged by my Mac. Oh, Siri. Where did the swells come from? We just made them. Okay, is that the one that I just bounced? I've lost track. Yes, okay, so on to the next. Okay, and there's the bigger intensity, so let's go bounce. And we're looking at file 13. We'll do intensity 4, maybe, on that one. Maybe 5. That feels kind of like a 4. All right, so this is file number 14 and intensity number 4. Ooh, and this one's got the aftertouch pitch bend in there. I think I'm going to skip the last 2. Okay, so this one is file number 15, and it's intensity number 3, but it's complexity number 4. Boom. On to the next row of stuff. Pluck flavors. Okay, well, that's not going to work. We've got to get a much better fade on this. Okay, so probably all of these can come down. Oops. Just a touch. A little bit more, but we'll put overdrive on for sparkle and shine. Okay, so first one. These are definitely swells. They're kind of right in the ballpark here. So this is going to be SFX. These are going to be swells, synthetic. Synthetic A minor. We'll call this O1. And these are going to be kind of spicy. So intensity 4. Intensity 5. But a complexity of 2. Next. Cool. So this is 1 less intensity, 1 more complexity. File number 2. Intensity 4. Oops. And complexity 3. Probably a 3 and a 2. This is file number 3. Oops. Intensity 3. Complexity 2. Okay, this one probably rings out more. Yes, it does. Cool. Okay, and that's going to be an intensity 5. File number 4. Intensity 5. Complexity 3. Next row of sounds. Okay, so both of those are fine. Loudness wise, let's just bounce them really quick. These are going to be back to our stingers. So this will be file number 16. Intensity 3, complexity 3, 2. And this one. Same. File number 17. Boom. Vocal synth. Okay, and these are definitely into the stinger realm again. All right, cool. So these all look like they're going to be bounced pretty easy. Tom says, so I just brushed my teeth and was hungry. Now I'm eating a banana without using my teeth. Not an easy task. Tongue pressure. Oh, I love it. Okay. Saf is saying, where did the swells come from? Show me the setting. Saf, do you have my FM8 packs, the 3-volume trap series? It's from the Sound Freaks label. There's got to be some way to put that talent to use there, Tom. There's got to be. All right, so this is going to be number 18. Number 18, it's going to have intensity of 2 complex, or intensity 3, complexity 2. Boom. This one will probably be down 1. Yep. All right, so this is file 19, intensity 2, complexity 3. Oh, this one's stopping a bit short. Bounce this. 20. Intensity 2, complexity, we'll call it 2. Have a little variety in here. Oh, this one stops a little short too. Do they all? Oops. Yeah, this one's way down, but I like it. So this is 21. We'll put intensity 1, complexity 3 on this one. This is still just a little bit shy. This is file 22. Intensity 2, complexity 3. Just a little shy on that one still. And this is a quiet one. Let's actually bump this just a touch. Maybe just a little bit more. That's better. We'll keep it a low intensity though. So this is file 23. This is intensity 1, maybe, and complexity 2 on this one. That's basically the same exact sound, isn't it? Yeah, let's skip this one. Okay. So this bad boy is 24. And it's got an intensity of 3 and a complexity, oops, of 3. Oh, that stopped short. Cool. Let's give this an intensity. What is this? 25. 25. Intensity 4. Complexity 3 is fine. Next. This one cuts a little short too. Okay. This one then is track number, or file number 26. Intensity 2. Complexity 3. 2. Oh, that one stopped short. Disco. Cool. Let's get in on file 27. We're going to say intensity 4, complexity 3. Done with that row. To this one. Single shot. Little piercing. Let's, instead of bringing down the volume on this one though, let's just use compression. This is probably the first compressor we've used all day, huh? As it should be. Let's set this at 10. Let's make it somewhat aggressive. Right on the money. Right on the money. Let's drag this out just a touch. Yeah, little piercing. But that's what I want. Something that can poke through the entire mix in a really important scene. You know, like when something really important happens in a scene, but it's fleeting. The odds of you catching that in the moment are very slim, but if there's a tiny little sound cluing you into the fact that there's something happening there, then the odds of you catching it are great, actually. All right, so we're going to call this, in that same line, file number 28. We'll put this at intensity 5, complexity 2. Okay, now this is one of our steady eddies here. We've got to have some kind of swell made out of the sustain. So let's dip into that. Let's give this a little curve. Something like this. I think this is fine. Let's just keep an eye on our meter, make sure that we don't top out on our luffs, and we are all good. Cool. Okay, so that one's fine on our luffs. So let's just bounce this. This will be different. This could be a swell or it could be rhythmic. Let's put it up here as a swell rhythmic synthetic and decide later. Rhythmic. one less underscore, synthetic, file number 1, intensity 4, complexity 3. Boom. Next. Oh, except I wanted this one. I remember now. I want this one to be intensity 3 and the other one to be intensity 5. Right. So this one right above it will be intensity 5. And we'll do a very similar path here. Let's just see where our LUFs peak out at here. Loud. 16, 15, 14, 13. Let's see what the average is when this plays through for just a sec. Love singing bowls as well, Tom. Absolutely. I love that guy. It does feel rather washing machine-esque, doesn't it? Come on, come on, come on. Bring those LUFs down, 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 down. Can we get to an average of 19 before we run out of time? Can we get there? Is it close enough? Maybe it's close enough. Maybe it's close enough. Let's bounce this. All right, so this is going to be file 2, but it's going to be intensity 5 on this one. So file 2. Intensity 5. Boom, next. All right, same basic thing here. No need to reinvent the wheel. Just very simple kind of pulse swells. And this should be just fine where it is. LUFS-wise, this is going to be intensity of 3. Maybe 2. We're going to call this one 2. So this is file number 3, intensity 2. Complexity 3 is fine. Oops. Maybe this one could be 4. Yeah, this one could be 4. That's such a nasty, dirty, sloppy little pulse. That's awesome. All right, so this would be file 4, intensity 4. So now we've got almost one of each of the intensities here. Complexity 3. Yeah, these little pitch bends in here. Yeah. This is going to be a really low intensity. Wonder if we can get away with an intensity 1 on this. I bet we can. Let's do that. All right, so this is file 5. Intensity 1. And let's go complexity 2. And this is the last of those. Cool. And this is like maybe a 4. Yeah, maybe we'll call this an intensity 4. Eric! Hey, dude! Doing well. How are you? No worries on the lurking. And thank you so much for the gift subs. I saw those came through probably right after we finished a stream last week or something, and it didn't hit my screen until after we were all gone. So thank you so much, dude. I really do appreciate all the love that you spread. Very much so. Yep, all good here, dude. Okay, so we're going to do an intensity of, let's say, 4 on this one, maybe? That seems right. And we'll keep complexity 2 just so we have some variety in this pack. Wow, we've made it much closer than expected. Oops. Time-wise here. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. These kind of rhythmic swells here. I'll just call this not a loop, just an element. What is going on here? I thought I had Slack pause notifications. Thank you. Thought we were there. Saffron is asking, are these swells from the trap pack? Well, I sourced some of the sounds from the trap pack, but I did manipulate them a bit, affected the timbre and the envelopes to transfer. Some of them were like plucks and whatnot, brighter. I turned them a little darker. Oh, that last one's really cut short. Will it loop? It's not like me. No, it won't. And that's actually just kind of a crying shame now, isn't it? So what we'll do instead is we'll keep this on the bar. Why am I not snapping? Absolute. There we go. We'll keep this on the bar, and what we'll do is we'll put a, let's say, a 2000 fade out on this. $3,000. My goodness, 4,000. I can't believe I cut off that last note there. Not like me. Okay, let's go back to fade out of 2000. And because that felt a bit more natural. And we're just going to straight up truncate this and see if we can just keep our bar length. Let's see if that actually translates. So this is going to be, where are we on our lefts here? Okay. All right, so this will be some kind of a pulse. So let's just grab one of these. Let's go one. This has got an 80 BPM, 85 BPM associated with it. And it's pulse. Oh, this is tough. Not sure exactly what to call this one. There's 01. And there's 2 and 3. Let's just do 2 and 3 really quick. Let's see if I did 2 and 3 a little bit better. And these can be loops. If this last one loops okay. I think it's okay. And we're at a decent level here. Oh, I didn't look at my complexity on the last one though. Let's just do that really quick. Pulse intensity 5. Let's do complexity 3. We'll do this one is 4. Intensity 4. Oops. Intensity 4. Complexity 3. Cool, we'll do the same on this one, as long as this loops here. Yeah, it does. So we'll keep this one pretty much the same. This is file number 3. Okay, so that's the last of those. Let's get down and do these one-shots here really quick, and then we'll call this a wrap. Yeah. Beefy. Okay, so this is just a swell. So let's see where we can put this. Swell rhythmic, swell synthetic. So this will be file number 5. Intensity 5 is fine. Complexity 3 is fine. Okay, this one's got to come down just a little bit, but it can be a 5 as well. Or a 4, 5. Call it 5. Oh, and that's this one. Okay, so this needs a volume curve on it because of that drag note at the end. And let's give this just a little bit more. And just bring down the whole trim here a bit. Okay, cool. So we will bounce this one. And we'll call this 7. And intensity, which is fine. We'll call this 3. Is that it? That's it. That's all the stuff. That's great. Seth says, "Did you mention that the sounds are from a trap pack?" Yeah, I did. So, not all the sounds are actually from the trap pack. There's 3 volumes, and I started these sounds predominantly from the presets and just kind of tweaked the timbre and the envelope shapes to kind of match the vibe of what we're looking for with this particular part. Yeah. So when you open up the trap packs, they won't exactly sound just like this. You'll have to manipulate them a little bit if you want to do that. But you can always watch the live stream archive and follow along. They were very simple changes. They really were. And some of them, a lot of them actually, for the timbre shifting was actually just using the Easy Morph tab, which are already pre-programmed for you. You just have to move around a little dot on your screen until you find the timbre that you really, really like. And bada bing, bada boom. You're in. Okay, so that's a whole bunch of sounds for that one. Wow, we just bounced 45 sounds, you guys. And this one is an extra 15 plus, oh wait, those are all cyborg. I still have to do these. Shoot. Oh, I've got these though. I wonder if these were already... Let's just bounce these really quick together, shall we? What is this? This is the Marvel Sound Design Pack. Part 1. Yeah, because I have not bounced these. So we'll just go in here and we're going to bounce, I think it's probably like 5 elements or something out of this. Can't remember if I did this one on stream with you guys or not. While this is playing, I'm going to check in on the team and see what all that Slack action is about. Good question, Saf. I think the strings might be Albion. Well, thank you, Andy and Tom. Okay, so we got to get back into the E minor 80 BPM part 1 mindset here and just listen to these 3. Actually, I think all 3 of these should just be bounced as 1. Why isn't this playing? Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, Okay, cool. So this is good. Let's just check our meter level. Check it way over here. This is where everything picks up in volume. Okay, so we can go up a fair bit. Can still go up a fair bit. Yeah, that's just about perfect right there. All right, cool. So let's bounce these. What do I need here? Actually, I don't even need to do that. So this will be called oops. This is part 1. Marvel part 1, E minor. Oh, and this is, shoot, this is backwards. Rhythmic. Put this right here. Atmosphere rhythmic. BPM, and this is an intensity of 3, and a complexity of 4. Disco. Okay, next is this bass line. Let's get that one. Wonder how the Marvel sounds would like the trap beat. Yeah, you know, one whole part of this whole release has a serious trap edge to it. And when you look through the different Marvel characters and the different Marvel themes throughout the universe, there's a lot. There's glitch and there's trap and there's all sorts of stuff. It's just that it's not really pushed forward. And we are exploiting that. They tend to be a little sticky, them trap beards. Saf is saying, I think these Marvel sounds would go nicely with the hip hop or trap song. Yeah, dude, just wait. Just wait. There's some really good stuff. There's really good stuff. You're going to love these. All right, let's get this bass line done. Oh, and this is all on trim. So let's just turn off this volume mod here. Okay, and this is running, jeez, some long time, really. That's okay, though. We can let that roll. And I feel like this is a decent loudness for this. Let's just put just a tiny little shimmer on the very top of this so it stands out on its own. Or, I mean, in a mix. When it's not on its own. Yeah, those little sizzly bits way up there above 7K. Yeah, those are tasty. All right, cool. So we're going to bounce that. And this is going to be bass synth. Right. Got it. So this will be a pulse. I guess pulse. Synthetic bass. E minor, 80 BPM, intensity 4, complexity 2. Let's see what else we have to bounce here. This project is bouncing much slower. I bet I have a bunch of stuff hidden that wasn't turned off. Oh, Tom, you know, I've used my little overdrive trick for so many years. I don't know. I don't know how many years. 20 plus years. More than that, probably. Okay, so then I got this giant riser. Let's see. Boom, right here. So we need to put like this. See where our signal starts. Isn't that funny how that happens, BlackBerry? All right, let's check our meter and see where we are. That's all right. Let's do that. So we've got, oh, I actually have this already marked out here. I just have it backwards. I guess I'll just roll with this. All right, so this will be a, I guess we start FX. So this will be FX, riser, synthetic, oh, I didn't even put, there we go. That's good. While that's bouncing, I can sneak back in here and just pop in an 01 on these bad boys. Boom. Okay, those are done. Distant sub impact. Let's just bounce one of those. This is actually derivative of a sample from the Minimalist 1 sound pack. And where was this on the LUFS? Ooh, it's spicy. 16. Okay, so 16. So this has got to come down. Really? Really? Man. Let's check this one. I don't want to take it down anymore. Let's just call this good. And this is going to be FX impact, synthetic. We'll call this sub synthetic. Yep, that's fine. And you know what? Our riser was actually fairly complex. Give it a 3. All right, and lastly, I think that there's this atonal riser before the heartbeat. Let's do this. Yeah, that's the one. Crush from 85. Not their best album, but memorable, yeah. There's like some memories wrapped up in that. Only beaten by Venetian snares. Oh, man. Parliament is by far the loudest. It hurt. It hurt. I remember being mad at them a couple of different times. One time I stayed in the room, like in the main room while it was going on, and it was way, way, way too loud for any human to be in there. But I stayed in there because I was playing in the same venue on the same night as this old classic place called the Satyricon in Portland. And I was so super stoked to be playing the same venue as Parliament on the same night. And I don't think I could hear properly for days afterwards. I mean, it was like a damaging experience. I should have bounced. Knowing what I know now, I should have just bounced. Okay, so this one can come way up. Good. Got lots of room. Right, Blackberry? You know Satyricon. I think people that rode the big waves, especially through the 90s in the like the independent and grunge and punk scene and whatnot, they know the Satyricon. Some things happened there. All right, so this is atonal riser. Boom. Riser, 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 boom, riser 2, intensity 4, no, probably 3, complexity 3, 2, boom. Okay, and then we've got this heartbeat bed here. Let's see what this sounds like. Oh, come on, Logic, catch up with me here. Thank you. Okay, and let's kill this automation and bring this up. Look at the Goni. Let's bring that up just a smidge more. Yeah, that's a good spot. I think we're good to go on this one. All right, so this is some kind of pulsey something. What else do we have? Pulse synthetic bass. This will work. We'll call this number 2. Number 2, we'll do intensity of 3. Complexity of 2, that's fine. So this one's done now. Disco. Let's just see how much continuity we have across all these different things. Level-wise here. Yep. So tasty. Okay, what don't I have bounced yet? Oh, you know what? Let's just really quick, before we wrap things up, let's go back into the project that you guys all thought sounded like 007, because it does. Which is the trap one, actually. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, I think so. Let's listen to this. Yeah, so that's how that goes. Let's see what we're doing on all of these. Okay, so that's simple. What's this one? I'm not really sold on this one. Maybe if these two are combined. And maybe let's just check the vibro walkie really quick. That's from the trap pack as well. Oh, right. That one was supposed to be coupled with this one. Cool. Okay, so these two together will be the riser. So we'll just wrap around this one. And let's just put a tiny little in and out on both of these. So there's no pops. Okay, and they're very dry, so we can just snap two. Cool. So we're going to bounce these, and these are... Well... We'll just steal this. Okay, so this is going to be Marvel Part 3, and then FX, Riser, Synthetic, 85 BPM, A minor, call this an intensity of 3. And a complexity of 3. That sounds fine. Yeah, I'm really not sure about this bit. That would be this one and this one together. I'm not sure if I like these enough to bounce them. Decent swell. Move that up just a bit. Call this an intensity 4. 3 FX, well, oops. Base synthetic 85A minor intensity 4. Complexity 2. We've got to put these little reverse pluck things in because these were super tasty. Let's give this a top and a bottom really quick. Perfect. Oh, and what are these topping out at? So we can actually increase that just a bit. Yeah, that's good. All right, so we'll call these effects. These are some kind of pulse rhythmic. I'm not sure. Pulse reversal synthetic. Intensity 4, intensity 3, complexity 3. Cool. Got a swell. Okay, so let's put in and out on these. Boom. Okay, we'll call this a good swell. Swell synthetic. Boom. And a suck back. Yeah, we'll call that good. We'll just beef it up just slightly, give it a little in and out. That's good enough. So this one will be FX, but suck back and then synthetic. Three. And that concludes that bounce party. So we've got a bunch of extra sounds. Got another 5 there. 15, 29. 43. And then we've got the big one that we bounced today. So 87. 87. And then I'm not sure about this one. This is just from the other day. Oh, we've already got this. Okay. 89, 99. We got 100 new samples out of this because I'm sure we've got at least one more here. Good job today, guys. We just bounced out another 100 samples for this this release. How about that? You guys are freaking stellar. Can I just say that? Because I can't think of many places where I could sit and just bounce stuff and people stay so tuned in and whatnot. You guys are just freaking great. Okay, so we're going to, thank you, Ben. That is a lot of stuff, isn't it? We'll see. We'll see, because I'm about to step into a quality control team party, which is sort of like a bounce party, except for instead of adding more stuff, we're slaughtering stuff with axes and chainsaws. So let's see how many files get eliminated out of all of that. Because you know me, I'm like the Bob Ross of sound, so I like to like just pile a whole bunch of stuff on and then start trimming away. Okay, so we're going to dip into a raid here in just a second. Throw out some suggestions in the chat. And while you're doing that, I'm going to do my little wind down thing where I say I appreciate you guys so much. But wait, there's more surprises coming this week. So stay tuned. There might be some very sudden streams. And it might just be the very beginning of something pretty darn awesome that all y'all can get involved in and earn cash. Cash. Sketty's on? Okay. Cool, cool. Hey, nice, Paul. No worries, dude. No worries. Have fun with your brother, dude. Where are we? Where's my browser? Where are we? What are we doing here? Twitch. Refresh. Where's my Streamlabs? There's my Streamlabs. Mr. Sketty. Mr. Sketty. Big ups and big thanks to all of the people that followed and subbed today. Baby Lords, Thendricus, Mechanotrax, Eslazi, Becky Safe with the rate of 31, Shadon, Maxifer, Guy, Purple, Conflicted Operator, DC Jav, Fellow Scorpio, Eric, who kicked down 5 additional subs. I appreciate you, all of you. We're going to go find Mr. Sketty now and make this happen. I will see you guys Wednesday at the latest, probably sooner. Have fun with Mr. Sketty. I'll stick with you for a minute. And I'll see you guys on the flip. Peace out. Appreciate you. Big love.
Best raid sound on Twitch. Best raid sound on Twitch. Let's go. I know that name. OhmLab, thank you so much for the raid there. I hope you had an absolutely fantastic stream. Let's get a shout out, unless it's already happened, because I feel like my mods might have already done it. But yeah, thank you so much for that raid. I hope you had a fantastic stream. Why do I know your name? OhmLab. I've seen your name before, and like... You're a Chris as well? Wait, what? You're a Chris. I'm a Chris. All of the Chris.